We got you updated. This is Radio Imanzi News in English.
You are tuned to Radio Imanzi, broadcasting from Kigali. Here is the news in English, brought to you by Fiona Mukansanga. The headlines. President Paul Kagame this afternoon received Ambassador Bankole, African Union's Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security. Rwanda's Salima Mukansanga has been listed among the 3 referees for the 2022 World Cup. The Nigerian police have arrested 2 men suspected of being behind the high-profile kidnapping of 24 students in April 2021 in northwestern Nigeria. Welcome back. News in detail. President Paul Kagame this afternoon received Ambassador Bankole Adeoye, African Union's Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, for a discussion on various security challenges on the continent. The president also received Ahmed A. Katan, Special Envoy and Advisor at the Royal Court of Saudi Arabia, to discuss strengthening of existing bilateral cooperations. In other news making headlines, Rwanda's Salima Mukansanga has been listed among the 3 referees for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Moreover, this is the first time women will officiate at the tournament. Others are Stephanie Frappart of France and Japan's Yoshimi Yamashita. 3 female assistant referees will also support them. Members of Parliament have voted for Article 11 of the draft law relating to research on human participants as Rwanda continues to position itself as one of the pharmaceutical hubs in Africa. Manzi Prince, intern at Radio Imanzi, has this report.
Members of Parliament have voted for Article 11 of the draft law relating to research on a human participant, as Rwanda continues to position itself one of the pharmaceutical hubs in Africa. According to the bill, which was tabled by the Minister of Health, a participant in a research such as that for vaccine or medicine used in humans does not obtain a financial or material reward, either direct or indirect. MP Odette Wamaria, chairperson of Committee on Social Affairs, which has examined the statement, say that it is a principle not to reward a research participant. However, the statement provides that a researcher may refund the research participant for expenses related to participation in the trial, such as transport and accommodation. This shows that the internal rules and regulations of the National Ethical Committee determine the mode of refund on the research participant for the expenses incurred by the research. Although MP Veneranda Nyirahirwa said that principle not to provide reward to the research participants should be clear, pointing out that there is no need to include things like transport facilitation in the law. Meanwhile, concerning damages, the statement provides that a person who has suffered from unjustified harm arising from a scientific research is qualified to fair compensation in accordance with the relevant laws. According to the Ministry of Health, the bill comes at a time when there is an increase in diseases whose treatment or vaccination requires the recruitment of human participants or other living things in compliance with research ethical standards.
Moving on ahead, the International Organization of Francophone has launched a French teaching program for Rwanda Defense Force troops at Rwanda Military Academy of Gako in Bugesera district that will be deployed in peacekeeping operations in French-speaking countries. The Secretary General of the organization, Louise Mushikiwabo, said the peacekeepers need language skills to communicate with residents of their peacekeeping nations. The Deputy Commander of Rwanda Military Academy, Colonel Franco Rutajengwa, said the constitutional adoption of the French language aims at solving global issues including security. The training started with a group of 50 military personnel who will be deployed in Central African Republic this year in October. The government of Rwanda today hosted a forum with a private sector delegation from France, which was organized by the Rwanda Private Sector Federation and the France Public Bank for Investment. Mutetelazina Shifa, intern at Radio Imanzi, has this report.
According to the Minister of Industry and Commerce, Hakuziele Myesolaya, the event was organized to assist the private sectors of both countries in identifying areas of collaboration and to boost trade in both countries. She also mentioned that certain French delegations have expressed interest in investing in agro-processing, energy processing, and medical services. Umrisa Fiona Cecile, Managing Director of IBGWAD, noted that she was lucky to have attended and participated in the forum because there was a lot of knowledge exchange.
This forum has been an amazing platform for business women and businessmen because there is exchange of knowledge, exchange of same industry, because here there is industries that mainly in different sectors such as energy, technology, agriculture, design, and so many more. So we have been lucky to attend, to participate, and to be part of this forum.
The Central African Republic government has awarded certificates to 2 Rwandan police units serving as UN peacekeepers in the country. The 2 units are responsible for the protection of senior government officials. Mutetelezina Shifa with this report.
The event was presided by the President of National Assembly, Professor Prince Matthew Salangi, and Prime Minister Felix Moro. The recognized officers are part of Rwanda Protection Support Unit 6, serving under UN Multidimensional Integrated Stabilization Mission. During the event, Professor Salangi commended the discipline, professionalism, hard work, and dedication demonstrated during the first tour of duty. He also thanked the government of Rwanda for its commitment in international peace, particularly in Central African Republic.
Some items of international news on Radio Imanzi.
Authorities in the southeastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo have seized 1.5 tons of elephant ivory, one of the largest hauls in Africa in years. Legal and environmental officials discovered the smuggled tusks aboard trucks in the city of Lubumbashi. The police arrested 5 people, but 2 fled after questioning. Both the origin and intended final destination of the ivory remain unclear. The Nigerian police have arrested 2 men suspected of being behind the high-profile kidnapping of 24 students in April 2021 in the northwestern Nigeria and the murder of 5 of them. The police announced that both men confessed to the abduction of the students from the University of Greenfield, Kaduna State, and the murder of 5 students before the payment of ransom and the release of the other students. In April 2021, gunmen stormed Greenfield University in Kaduna, abducting about 20 students and killing a staff member. A few days after the attack, the kidnappers executed 5 hostages to force the families and the authorities to pay a ransom, which was later obtained. 15 African civil society organizations have warned that the ongoing war in Ethiopia could equal the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda unless the United Nations immediately puts the conflict on its agenda. In a letter to the UN Security Council, the groups say that besides war crimes and crimes against humanity on both sides of the conflict, words such as cancer and devil that are used to refer to human beings cast as opponents reflect what preceded the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. Sri Lanka's central bank governor says he will stay in his position given an improvement in political stability in the midst of an economic crisis, and he would not step down as he had earlier warned. He said the Central Bank of Sri Lanka had nearly finalized plans to restructure the country's debt and proposals would be submitted to the cabinet soon and possibly by Friday. South Africa's Ministry of Arts and Culture has announced it would review a decision to spend more than $1 million on a flag project after public outreach. The flag was said to be erected at the Freedom Park Heritage Site and Museum at a cost of $1.3 million. Earlier this week, South Africa's influential trade union, the Congress of South African Trade Unions, slammed the plan and described it as absurd and pointless. Criticism also came from civil society groups and political parties such as Action South Africa and the economic freedom fighters, who accused the government of seeking to invest in a vanity project. The government had defended erecting the 100-meter monument, saying it would attract visitors, but many have criticized it as a waste of taxpayers' money. Economic news is a regular feature on Radio Imanzi. The Rwanda Stock Exchange Market Report. The trading session recorded a total turnover of 5,250,000 Rwandan francs worth of bonds traded in one deal on the fixed income market and 833,000 Rwandan francs from 7,400 shares traded in 3 deals on the equities market. Brairwa closed the counter at 160 Rwandan francs. The trading session recorded a total turnover of 704,000 Rwandan francs from 4,400 shares traded in one deal. I&M closed the counter at 43 Rwandan francs. The trading session recorded a total turnover of 129,000 Rwandan francs from 3,000 shares traded in 2 deals. Bank of Kigali closed the counter at 260 Rwandan francs. Simerwa at 120 Rwandan francs. M10 Rwanda at 179 Rwandan francs. Equity Bank at 440 Rwandan francs. Kenya Commercial Bank at 370 Rwandan francs. National Media Group at 1,200 Rwandan francs. Uchumi Supermarket closed the counter at 104 Rwandan francs. And RH Buffalo closed the counter at 526 Rwandan francs as the market closed. Now the currency market review of today. The Kenyan shilling buying price was 8.6 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 8.7 Rwandan francs. Tanzanian shilling buying price was 0.43 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 0.44 Rwandan francs. Ugandan shilling buying price was 0.27 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 0.28 Rwandan francs. Burundian franc buying price was 0.49 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 0.5 Rwandan francs. The US dollar buying price was 1,010 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 1,031 Rwandan francs. The British pound buying price was 1,252 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 1,277 Rwandan francs. The euro buying price was 1,061 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 1,082 Rwandan francs. With that, we come to the end of tonight's edition.